Everyone, welcome to the South Asian Health Show. I'm your host, Rina Gill. I'm super excited about the guest that we have with us today. Her name is Kamal Atwal. She's an RESP consultant who also runs a successful collections agency. Now, we're just going to jump right into it because today's Kamal's birthday. Happy birthday, Kamal!
Thank you, Rina.
So you did something special for your birthday related to Feng Shui. So want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to do I moved into this new place about a year ago. It'll be a year last March, so almost a year. And because of COVID, just things have been on hold. So I'm not really religious. I'm a Sikh background, but I'm not really religious. I'm more spiritual, but I still haven't really found my focus, but I knew something was always, I needed something to kind of keep me grounded and my vision grounded and my girls and everything. So I don't know, I just stumbled upon somebody I follow who's an amazing woman on Instagram. And then I'm thinking, you know what, I was going to do like a bot or something Sukhmani Savda or something, just something, even though I'm not like religious, but something just like that in my home. So I thought, you know what, why don't I do the Feng Shui? Like, why don't I get somebody in here that's going to kind of get any negative vibes out of my home and, just kind of come in and do her magic in my home and just tell me where it needs to be tweaked. So I feel good. And then I also wanted to take the whole day off, and it was perfect. My birthday fell on Tuesday because my daughter has her day off from work as well. And then I just got Akam out of school. So all three of my girls are home today. So I've played hooky from work today. And that's what we did this morning is 11 a.m. she came in and she kind of blessed my home, and we did this 3-step energy channeling process, that they do in that in Feng Shui. So yeah, so I feel really good, and I think it was a fun experience, a way to start my birthday, and with all three of my daughters. So yeah.
Well, considering that, this is a special day for you and you're busy with so many other things, thank you for taking the time out to spend with us to do this interview, which is long overdue. We've been super excited to sit down with you, Kamal, because one of the things we love about you is the fact that you incorporate health, wellness, fitness into your day-to-day routine. And for the viewers who don't know, we actually had Kamal as our feature cover story for the BC South Asian Health Magazine Back to School issue 2021. So we definitely wanted to sit down with you. We wanted to find out some, of your routine, what you do day to day, and as well talk about your multiple businesses. So let's start off by talking about what keeps you motivated, Kamal, on a day-to-day basis.
What keeps me motivated is, honestly, what keeps me motivated is the fact that I get to take charge of this life. I get to, be the actress in my life, I guess you want to call it. And then also being, it keeps me going that I have to, no matter how I feel, not only do I have to show up for my business because I don't make money if I don't work and I'm not in my bestest of spirits. Plus I have 3 mini me's that are looking at me for motivation. So if I'm sitting there, condoning them for something that they should be doing or should not be doing, and I'm doing the same thing. So that's kind of my biggest thing. I think I have to be a role model right here under this roof first before even, influencing others, right? So it has to be right from within home. I'm not perfect, but it's just that's kind of where it comes from. This is what motivates me, is my home and setting a future vision for my girls as well.
So you're an RESP consultant, you run a collections agency, you're a mother of 3 girls. I believe they're all teenagers, right?
Almost, yeah. So 2 adults, actually no, 24, 20, and the youngest is going to be a teenager in 7 in July. So almost a teenager.
Please tell us, how do you manage it all? I need to know. I'm sure a lot of our viewers are wondering as well.
Honestly, it's like I just think life is a balance. I just think that if I'm just fitting in this role of being a mom, like I'm giving up myself, right? I feel like for me to be the best mom and to be like, a businesswoman, I have to kind of keep myself happy. So what makes me happy? As you guys can probably see if you follow me on Instagram, is music, dance. That keeps me sane. That's my stress outlet. And gym has been, it's a great way to reset my morning every morning. That's kind of part of my spiritual thing, is going to the gym and just getting my 1 hour in at least four times a week.
They say, Kamal, on social media, consistency is key. Well, actually in all aspects of life, but I have to give you I have to give you an award for your level of consistency on social media. Girl, you tell us what you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You tell us when you're going for your workout, or when I think you do the workout in your garage. Sometimes you go to the gym. I watch all of that and I'm totally amazed, because at the end of the day, you are motivating people through example. And once again, that's why we thought you were such a great fit for the feature cover story in the magazine. And, you know, day to day, everything that you do, I'm sure you're motivating people. When they see that, they're probably thinking to themselves, you know what, I should do that too. So the fact that you're running multiple businesses, plus making sure that you take the time out of your daily schedule to do these types of things, it's really inspirational.
Thank you, Rina. I'm glad it's coming across that way, because honestly, I didn't do it with the intention to try to inspire. I was just kind of, to be honest with you, I think social media kind of kept me sane, because, you know, it's like that accountability. Like, my page is my page. It's not that I'm posting on other people's pages, but the fact that I can share, first of all, I think it started from the gym. That's, you know, that's kind of where my social media kind of really started from, is the gym. And that was my accountability. And then who jumps on board on my journey, who comes across my page, you know, if I inspire them, being, you know, I think when I started, I was in my 30s, now I'm in my 40s. So if I can inspire like-minded women, awesome, right? And then from there, then the suits. I love Punjabi fashion. I love suits. I love, you know, I don't know, I just get to be myself on my personal business page. It's nothing business on there. It's just me, who I am. And then it's nice to see that people actually like that. And it's been really empowering and very humbling to see that I've inspired like such amazing women from all over the world. And also, like, by the way, my Instagram account got hacked, so I started all over again in December. But like, women from like the ages of like 16 to like, I don't know, I never really asked their age, but the fact that they're all from different levels, right? Students to new moms to moms who are divorced to retirement age, right? So it's just nice to be able to influence. Like, I know what makes me happy in the morning. I look at my Instagram and I look at the ones that inspire me, and some of them motivate me to get out of bed. So I know the power of social media has been great. So yeah, and that's how we met. That's how we met.
Exactly. And I have seen you as a strong, successful female entrepreneur running multiple businesses. So let's talk a little bit about your businesses now, because one thing that we always talk about within the South Asian Health Show topics and guests that come on is how it's like a domino effect in life, how, you know, stress in different ways, whether it be financial, whether it be, you know, personal relationships, how that has a domino effect on your health and then can turn into chronic health conditions down the road. So when it comes to finances, it's a touchy subject. And I know that you've been running the collections agency for quite some time. So tell us what inspired you to start it.
What inspired me to start the collection agency is to actually start my own. Well, I actually worked in collections and I worked in sort of telemarketing type of jobs my whole life. And, you know, and then I've worked in a collection department for a big company that is no longer around. It was a big department store, Sears. So I used to work in their credit and collection department. And then from there, I was like, because of my history of doing telemarketing, I was able to be like one of the, even though we didn't get paid for it, but that recognition was huge. Like, I was in the top 5 that collected the most per dollar in revenue. And so from there, I got into working with a US company who was buying debt, managing debt and buying, you know, so collections, just straight up collections, and it was commission based. And then from there, I had my children. I had my first daughter when I first started working in that. And then by the time I had my second daughter, you know, and because I'm such a person who throws everything into whatever I do, whatever I love doing. And then I decided at that point in 2004, I'm like, okay, my kids are being neglected, right? I need to, like, this is not good. Like, I want to be the superstar at work, but I also need to be a mom because that was my choice. And I love my kids, right? So then I decided to start my own company and just took that jump and just did it in 2004, 2005. So I started my company in 2005 when my middle daughter was 3. Yeah, she was 3. And my oldest was 7. And then I've never looked back. I worked from home my whole, up until 2016 when I opened up the office. So sorry, just before COVID, 2020 is when I actually opened up my own office. So I've been working remotely from home, even before all this Zoom stuff, you know, all the meetings that were home-based, yeah.
Any memorable moments you'd like to share with us when it comes
For
to running the collections? Yeah.
Well, you know what? Things have changed a lot over the years. So I don't really do like the actual hardcore calls anymore. So now I'm managing it from an upper, from a CEO point of view. Like I just basically work, focus on the growth of the business, on how it's structured. So the collection calls aren't there, but obviously I had to, anything we do in life, you have to start from the bottom, right? So I was the one picking up the calls and, I would do the collection calls. And sometimes the funniest part was when I would call the Punjabi families. And I never use my name because you can't, and then they don't want to be embarrassed that it's a Punjabi girl calling me, right? So I would call as a alias name, and people who work in my collection field all know what that name is. But anyways, I would
Sally.
call.
Is it Sally by any chance?
No, it's a very, honestly, in collections, you don't want to keep repeating yourself, so you have to keep a name that's really simple that anybody can write it, no matter what ethnicity background, right? So I had a really simple name. I've gone through 2 in my whole lifetime. I can't share what they are, but anyhow, so I would call, and this guy, let's just, Punjabi guy. So kept calling him. Finally, the wife answers, right? And I can hear them speaking Punjabi. They didn't know I was Punjabi, right? They're like, she's like, oh, Gori da fair phone aa gaya, hai na, tusi hun pay kar do ta ki kari jane, right? And he goes, tu rakh de phone, tu gair hai nahi kare, right? So she comes back to the phone, and she goes, oh, sorry, ma'am, he's not home. I said, actually, Panji, I got minuna the awaaz sun pe. Like, I just floored her. She's like, Thada nata. I used to use Pam Miller. I'll tell you what my old name used to be. So it's Pam Miller. And so such a generic name, right? Pam Miller. She goes, oh, Thada nata Pam ya, Thada last name ta Miller ya. Yeah, because that mera husband go raya, right? I just pulled a fast
answer.
I go, my full name is Parnjeet, and she goes, okay. So then she started laughing. I go, mainu main 5-6 mahine ho gaye calls kar di nu, like, he owes the money, like, just tell him to pay it, right? Jane pay kar sakte, just do the monthly payment. So then she put him on the phone, and he started laughing. So it was funny, but it was funny how I could twist the fact that I have a Canadian accent and also speak Punjabi, because most of my clients, I'm licensed for British Columbia, so chances are that it's going to be mostly Punjabi people I'm collecting from, right? So.
Definitely. And, when it comes to your other business as an RESP consultant, you're dealing with families and parents that are sometimes maybe stressed about saving enough money for their children's education. So I believe you started doing the RESP stuff in 2016.
I started in, my daughter's graduated in 2015, and I got licensed kind of pretty much right after she finished, because it was a reminder to me to get something set up for the other 2. So while I was trying to get the other 2 set up on an RESP, because I never had one, I'm like, after doing my research, I'm like, you know what, maybe I should get into RESPs, because I never saved all these years, always waiting for the right time. And I'm sure there's so many other parents that don't jump on board right away. Right. So I thought, okay, well, this is a great way for me to get in, and then I always look at things, even for our collections or even RESPs, from the point of view of my person I'm speaking to, right? Because a lot of people feel the pressure, they hear this 2,500 or get the 500 from the government. That doesn't mean you can't do less than that. You can, absolutely you can. So that's kind of my approach, is I plant the seed in my clients' minds of, this is the potential. Tusi inna kar sakde hain, par tusi apni pocket, apni budget ke hisab na jao on, right? Because I know that they're gonna, there's some of them, these clients are new immigrants. Some of them are, first-time home buyers, or they haven't bought a house yet, or some of them are settled. So I kind of, in my conversation, it's based on everybody is different.
Yeah. For sure. I'm kind of remembering, as you're talking, Kamal, I'm kind of remembering my experience when I first started post-secondary education. So my parents had started an RESP maybe a little bit later, when I was, I think maybe early teens. And so by the time I actually went to university, it barely covered my first year. And, tuition is so expensive, and it just continues to get more and more expensive, especially with the tuition, and then books, and then all the other, administrative costs. And so I remember that because both my parents were working, and the income was too high to be eligible for a student loan. So I was in a predicament where I was doing a joint program between university and college. I had all these expenses, and the RESP covered my first year. Thank you, mom and dad. I appreciate it. I don't want to sound like I don't appreciate it. But then for the rest of the years, I literally had to work a part-time job while carrying a full course load in university and college in order to pay my way through school. And, you know, in retrospect, it taught me a really good, strong, hardworking ethic, you know, but it was tough. It was so hard. So I can imagine when you're speaking with parents, you know, when you emphasize to them how important it is to start it early on when the children are young, so that by the time they do graduate high school and they're looking at post-secondary, that, you know, it'll alleviate stress on everyone if the funds are there ready for them to use.
Like, I mean, I had a student loan and, you know, up till age 19, like if your child's under the age of 19, they're still a minor. So they're going to always go by mom and dad's income. So same thing for me. I couldn't even get it. And I think, you know, it's just my story is a little different, but yeah. So if we can even put away like $100 a month for that child, right? Go with the budget your parents or anyone who can afford it at this age, right? When their kids are younger, you can always increase. You look at what the kids, you know, intellectual level is. Are they more academic? Are they more, you know, creative? You can tweak the plan. You can save accordingly, but somebody has to plant that seed. So, you know, some of my clients who say, no, Kamal, we just can't do it right now. I'm like, $25 side te rakh lo, you know, that's fine too. And then show them the value of that money. $25 ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ, you know, you spend that easily at Tim Hortons or Subway, ਤੁਸੀਂ 25 ਵੀ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ almost 8,000 ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ 50 ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ newborn baby ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ 20,000 ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ। ਤੁਸੀਂ $100 ਰੱਖਦੇ, that's $40,000, right? So ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ situation better ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, then ਉਦੋਂ ਵਧਾ ਲਿਓ, right? So it's just nothing set in stone. RESP is supposed to be a stress-free way for parents to save. ਉਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਗਾਂ in the future, just look at this way, like, you know, if that money is there, not only is your child going to be more successful because you've got the money, you're going to plant the seed in your kid's mind. Second, it's less pressure for, especially apni community de vich aapa chahne apne bacche kamyab hon, right? So je apna bachcha hi nahi hega kamyab or doesn't know what they're doing because they're all over the place, but if we can at least plant some seed of the money being there, then ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਰਨਾ, but the tension with, you know, your kids settled, at least they're paying their, ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ money, which we don't want from them, at least as long as they're self-sufficient and they can cover their own expenses, if God forbid something, one day we're all going to go, right? You want your kids to be on their own feet. That's it. That's ultimately, I tell the girls the same thing. Make enough money that you can sustain the living that you're used to, because it's only going to come from within, it's going to come from you. So base your education levels on that. If you're fine with, you know, no iPhones and, you know, whatever kind of phone, then that's your life. I can only guide you. I'm just actually I was telling the girls the other day too, I'm the road. That road is theirs, that journey. But you know, those things when you kind of go over the line, that little bump, that noise happens. I don't even know what they're called, but I'm like, that's what I am for now, right? That's what I am. I'm just going to keep on scooping you back onto the road. That's it. But you are going to have your own journey. But if we can, but for the parents, if the money you can give for their education, it's just, it's going to help you in so many different ways. Like I said, back to us, all the way to the kids mentally.
I know definitely parents stress about two things when it comes to their children, their education and their wedding. So I'm going to say something here that's going to touch on a cultural like nuance here, but you know what, if parents are saving in a wedding fund, right? If they're saving in a wedding fund for their children, why not, if finances are tight, why not take that money and put it towards the children's education first, right? Instead of just focusing on wedding, because that will come later.
That's right? Come later. That money can be earned. Like, and the thing is, like, at age 18, do you want, like, it's not like 19, I'm not, you know, they're not a 1970s child or an 80s child, right? Where we're all getting married in our early 20s. I can't even imagine them being married. They're 24 and 20. So 18, are you saving for something when they're 25, 26, or you want to save for something when they're 18? Because if you give them the right education, by the time they're 24, 25, they'll make enough to pay for their weddings, and they'll be smart enough to make long, successful relationships and choosing the right partners, right? So focus needs to go away for saving for the wedding. You know, it has to be about the education. It doesn't mean you have to have university degrees. Both my girls are very different from each other. I didn't go to university, you know, so you can be successful without having, like, not every kid is book smart. Some are more creative. So yeah, you know, it's just, they have to find their own path. But if we can guide them and at least have a savings plan in place, it's a fail proof. In Navy school, John, that money is yours, right? Your principal is yours. All the interest is yours. The government grants will go back, but be prepared at least.
I want to encourage people as well that, you know, when babies are born in the family, why not, you know, open up an RESP, right? It doesn't have to be for your own children. Like I have two nieces, and I know, Kamal, you and I had brief
Yes, we did
conversations
talk about
that,
that. Yeah.
right? And I would love to start that for them. I know the parents have started it for them as well, but it doesn't hurt for me to start it for them as well, because I really do want them to pursue some form of education. And as you said, all children are different. So it's not that they have to go to university or do a particular program or college program, but I think it's a very important thing, Kamal, that you emphasize that even if the children don't go to school, it's not like the money goes to waste. And I think once upon a time, decades ago, I think there was some sort of, I'm not sure if you know, but there was some sort of clause that if the money wasn't used towards school, either there would be a deduction or something of that nature if the parent wanted to take it out and use it for something else. So it's great to know that the money that's going towards education, even if the child decides not to pursue education, that the parents can still use that money for something else.
Yeah, but let me clarify that because I don't want people assuming things here. So in the RESP is the principal, the money that you as a parent or the godparent or the aunt and uncle. So anyone can open up an RESP for anyone, right? So that principal money, whether it's 25 a month or 200 a month, OJD money, that's your principal. That's always your own money, okay? Then you're going to earn interest on it. Then you're going to get government grants. So what you get to keep out of the RESP, if it's not used for future education, is the principal's yours, comes back to you tax-free. The grant part, you know, the 8,400 on the average for every British Columbian, that goes back to the government, but you not to see interest earned, keep that. So it's like you still have earning interest on your principal. So that principal interest and the grant interest, that's your capital gains. So that part you have to decide that, and this is a government rule, not Knowledge First, not mine, you know, no, I'm not a financial planner, but that's the government rule on RESP. Principal comes back to you tax-free, grants go back to the government, all the profit you earn, which is, you're gonna make that interest anyways, nobody's paid taxes on the interest, so now you just gotta decide what you wanna do with it. Government's giving you two options. So let's say you did this for your nieces, you put away $100 a month, that 15,000 comes back to you, grants go back to the government, all that profit you earn, Rina, the 5, 6%, 7% from Knowledge First, that now is your profit. So you have to decide what you want to do. You've never paid tax on it. So governments either let you transfer it to your retirement plan, that's your one way out, or you just tack it onto your income for the year and you just pay tax on it.
Okay, no, thank you for clarifying that, Kamal.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is that for any of our viewers who do want to find out more information about RESPs, if you can provide us with the website address, your contact information, and then of course the collections agency stuff as well.
Okay, yeah. So on Instagram, it's at Icon Debt Solutions on Instagram. So the website for the collection agency is www.icondebtsolutions.com. For the RESP, I'm a licensed rep with Knowledge First. It's not my company. So Knowledge First is Canada's largest RESP company, and it's knowledgefirstfinancial.ca. Okay. If you guys want to find me on my social media, just search for Kamal Atwal. I do have an office in Surrey, so you can find me on Google as well. Yeah, so Knowledge First is the actual website for the RESP section.
Awesome. And now we just started a brand new year, and I'm just wondering, like, you know, what are some of your resolutions, or what we want to call habits, new habits that we're implementing, and what are some of your takeaways from life so far?
My takeaways from life are, actually kind of did a recap little, so first of all, buy property as soon as you can. It's always going up. Okay. Anybody who's important in your life, be clear with your intentions, be able to communicate with them. If not, if it's not serving you purpose, just walk away from it. Find something that works for you as far, and make sure you exercise, make sure you keep your health number one. You should, actually the thing for me for this year is I'm strongly focusing on, since December 1st, on intermittent fasting. So I think you probably see me talk about that a little bit. It's amazing. It's a lifestyle. So I've done about 2 years of research on my own, and to each their own. Everybody's got their own thoughts on that. So that's kind of my goal this year. It's just focusing on business, my girls, and my intermittent fasting. And I have a couple of fun things coming up, which I won't announce yet. They will be on my social media in the next couple of months. So totally different off from business. Just something fun I'll be doing.
Okay, so Kamal, I would love to just sit here and chit chat with you. I know it's your birthday though, and
The girls are waiting for me. They're like, Mom, hurry up.
exactly. No, I appreciate you taking time out of your day today. Please do enjoy the rest of the day to the fullest. We wish you a very, very happy birthday, Kamal. You're an awesome, once again, inspiration to everyone in the community. We're so honored to be able to work with you, and we look forward to future interviews, maybe in person. Maybe we can finally do an interview. Crossing our fingers for maybe spring, summer. That would be awesome. And we'll touch base with you again to see what your health, wellness, fitness routine is and get an update about business promotions as well. So definitely, I really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much for your time.
One more thing I'll be doing here, actually, this is kind of, I can talk about it right now. So the Feng Shui session I had at my home today, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with her for other like-minded women to just, it's a vision board class. Are you in town right now, Rina?
I'm all over the place, Kamal, you know that.
Are you here next month? Are you here
planning to do it?
It's going to be February 13th.
Awesome. Okay. I will definitely touch base with you.
Okay. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on here.
So what we'll do, Kamal, we'll stay connected. And I'm just going to thank the viewers for joining us today. And please stay tuned for our next episode. We're actually winding down our soft launch this week. And so what we're going to do, folks, is we're actually going to give you guys the opportunity. If you do have any feedback for us, any suggestions on future topics or guests, please do email us at southasianhealthshow@gmail.com. We appreciate your support thus far, and we hope you will continue to support us in future episodes as well. Thanks, Kamal. Talk to you soon.
You're welcome. I'm going to go have some dessert today.
And save some birthday cake for me.
I will for sure. Okay. Have an awesome day, Rina.
Okay.